To many people, getting inside the minds of women is an exciting adventure that makes them want to learn more about their thoughts and actions. What women say and do is very important. It's up to men to be aware of and understand these clues, which can come up in everyday conversations or through subtle body language. Understanding women's psychology not only helps with understanding, but it also helps men make smart decisions in relationships. But not all signals are positive. Some words and actions from women, if ignored, can have big effects on love and life. Today, let's look at 10 things that a woman may say that may make you rethink the relationship and ask yourself if she really values your investment. This isn't just about being self-aware. It's also about making smart decisions about your future. The key is to understand and objectively evaluate the complicated nature of relationships while developing good values within yourself. Make relationships that matter and last before we start. Please show your support by giving the movie a like and following the channel. Stay tuned until the end, because every point is important and may help you see things in a new way. Let's begin. Men often struggle with the idea that they shouldn't show too much emotion or talk too much about their daily lives. This can make them feel very lonely, especially when they try to open up to their partners and are ignored or brushed off. Sharing personal stuff is hard. It's like saying, "Hey, I trust you with my feelings and experiences," but when that trust is met with disinterest or turned to something unimportant, it hurts. You are so happy about getting that big raise at work that you want to tell your partner about it. You hope she will share your excitement, but she's more interested in talking about the newest fashion trend or gadget. It's like she's saying, "Your big moment doesn't matter. Let's talk about something I find important instead." This kind of imbalance can really hurt a relationship. It makes one person's accomplishments and feelings seem less important than the other person's unimportant hobbies. That's not how a healthy relationship should work. Epicus said that because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we speak. This is a fancy way of saying that it's really important to care about each other's problems and listen to them. It's about celebrating each other's successes and being there for each other through good times and bad. It's important to know when your partner is being selfish or not giving you enough mental support. It's about caring about yourself and your emotional health. Sometimes that means having a serious conversation to work things out. Other times it might mean making hard choices about the relationship. Either way, it's about finding happiness and fulfillment in a relationship based on mutual care and respect. Of course, I'm busy right now. We all know how hard work can be. As a guy, you have a 9-to-5 job just like the rest of us. But you still make time for your family. This shows that your family is very important to you, and that you make time for them even when you have important things to do. Maintaining this balance between work and family duties is admirable and says a lot about how dedicated you are to your family and how well you can set goals. Seneca, an old Stoic philosopher, said that we are scared more often than we are hurt, and that our pain comes from our thoughts more than from real life. This quote shows how important it is to have a positive outlook and be strong when dealing with life's problems. It tells us to think logically about situations and realize that our worries and views of problems often make them worse than they really are. But if your partner is consistently unavailable or missing in action, it makes you worry. When you shout at her, she says she's too busy or focused on work to talk. It's important to understand that when someone values a relationship, they make time for their partner first, even if they have other things to do. Open communication and mutual respect are the building blocks of any healthy relationship. Any problems or issues should be discussed with empathy and understanding. In the end, finding a balance between work and personal life is important, but genuine interest and effort in relationships should never be ignored or compromised. To build strong connections, both people must be willing to put each other's health and happiness first. Number 3. My ex used to do that. When you're in a relationship, it's usually not a good idea to think about past relationships. If your partner keeps talking about their ex, you should be worried. When you're shopping with her, for example, and she says something like, "My ex had great taste in clothes. He would have loved this outfit." These seemingly harmless comments can make you feel inadequate and unsafe in your current relationship. It's important to realize that she shouldn't constantly compare you to her ex-partners if she wants to build a healthy, trusting relationship with you. Like Epicus says, this situation fits with the Stoic idea of focusing on what we can control. Focus on the things you can control and let the rest go. Dwelling on past relationships is out of your hands, and it's important to put your mental health first by dealing with behaviors in a relationship that keep bringing up old relationships. May mean that your partner hasn't fully moved on or is using the current relationship as a distraction from unresolved emotions. This can make you a rebound partner instead of someone they choose because they really want to connect with you. It's important to be aware of these patterns and not let yourself be used as a temporary emotional crutch. It might be time to reevaluate your relationship if your partner talks about their ex-partner a lot or just can't get over it. You shouldn't put your mental health and happiness at risk, and staying in a bad situation can cause you unnecessary heartache. It's important to have open and honest conversations about boundaries and expectations in the relationship. If these talks don't lead to positive changes, you may want to think about moving on. Remember that putting your own needs first isn't selfish. It's an important part of keeping relationships healthy. Number 4. You're to blame. One important red flag that many men miss in relationships is when a woman refuses to say sorry or take responsibility for her actions over and over again. This behavior isn't just an oversight or an occasional misunderstanding. It's a deeper pattern of behavior that can have a big effect on the dynamics of the relationship. When you mess up, she wants you to accept it and ask for forgiveness, no matter how small the mistake is. On the other hand, when she does something wrong, she suddenly puts the blame on you and absolves herself of any wrongdoing. Instead of admitting her mistakes and working with you to solve the problem, she avoids taking responsibility. As the wise Stoic philosopher Epicus said, "It's not what happens to you that counts, but how you react to it." This is an unhealthy and unbalanced relationship. Classical advice stresses how important it is to look inside yourself and take responsibility for your actions when dealing with life's problems, including those that happen in relationships. Healthy relationships thrive on open communication, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. Both partners must be willing to recognize their mistakes, apologize sincerely, and work together towards resolution and growth by disregarding or minimizing her own faults while magnifying yours. She not only undermines the foundation of trust and respect, but also creates a toxic cycle of blame and resentment. It's essential to recognize this warning sign and approach it with clarity and maturity. It's crucial to remember that relationships are built on mutual responsibility and understanding. While forgiveness and appreciation are essential components, they must be reciprocated and valued by both partners. If she consistently avoids admitting her mistakes or refuses to work towards healthier communication and conflict resolution, it may indicate deeper issues of maturity and emotional intelligence. Therefore, it's imperative to assess the overall health and compatibility of the relationship, as difficult as it may be. Ending a relationship with such imbalances can pave the way for personal growth and the pursuit of more fulfilling connections. It's important to find a partner who values honesty, compassion, and mutual respect, because these are the things that make a partnership last and mean something. Journey number 5. Pointing out flaws. Being able to communicate openly and constructively is an important part of a healthy relationship. Your partner should not only listen to your thoughts and feelings, but also give you constructive feedback that helps you grow as a person. Instead of constantly pointing out flaws or shortcomings, they should inspire and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. This builds trust and mutual respect, creating a supportive environment where both partners can thrive personally and as a couple. On the other hand, if your partner consistently lowers your self-esteem or puts down your goals, it's a clear red flag that the relationship could be toxic. Feeling comfortable in your own skin and being able to express yourself honestly are basic rights in a healthy partnership. If these important parts are being harmed by negative or constant criticism, it might be time to look at the relationship again. To make a relationship healthy and satisfying, it's important to know how to spot danger signs. When you're with your partner, you should feel safe and encouraged. Thrive their part goes further. In the wise words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, A relationship is more than just being with someone. It's about helping you grow and making sure you feel valued and confident in yourself. Building a strong foundation on love and positivity is not only good for the relationship, it's necessary for it to grow and change in a good way over time. This timeless quote says it all. Wherever there is a person, there is a chance to be kind. Building relationships based on understanding, support, and kindness means choosing to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. Aligns with the Stoic philosophy of putting an emphasis on good deeds and meaningful connections. Putting your mental health and personal growth first sets the stage for a fulfilling and enriching relationship. Sixth tip, I do not have anyone. It's common for women to rely on their partners for emotional support, often using a phrase that's become all too familiar. However, it's important to be clear about your role in the relationship. You are her friend and equal, not her therapist or problem solver. Your main job isn't to diagnose or treat her mental health problems or take on all of her problems. It's natural to want to be the hero and always be there for her, but don't. You should know the limits of your job. If she seems stressed or helpless, that doesn't mean you should step in and help her. As a savior, when you play this role, you unintentionally make her more dependent on you, which could lead to an unhealthy situation where she relies too much on you for emotional stability, when what she really needs is the help and advice of a professional psychiatrist or counselor who can provide individualized mental health support. This expert help goes above and beyond what you can do as a partner and makes sure she gets full care for her health. If you don't recognize and respect these limits, it can cause tension and anger in the relationship. Over time, being the fixer all the time can be hard on your mental and emotional health, making you feel inadequate or angry. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be and then do what you have to do." This quote reminds us of how important it is to be self-aware and set realistic goals. By being aware of your own limitations and focusing on your own health, you can create a healthier relationship dynamic. This could even mean having open and honest conversations with your partner about getting professional help and encouraging her to take action on her mental health journey. Putting your own mental health first and setting clear boundaries can lead to a more satisfying and balanced relationship that is good for both you and your partner in the long run. Number 7. It was nothing serious. Finding out that your partner has been cheating on you is one of the worst things that can happen in a relationship. It breaks trust, which is what keeps any meaningful connection between two people going. When this happens, it not only breaks the romantic bond, but it also breaks down the mutual respect and understanding that should exist between partners as the Stoic. As philosopher Seneca pointed out, without trust, things will start to fall apart. After cheating, people often feel a lot of different feelings, from shock and disbelief to anger and sadness. It makes them question what they thought about the relationship and makes them reevaluate values and commitments that seemed unbreakable at first. The partner who was lied to may feel bad about themselves and wonder what they could have done differently to keep the trust from being broken. In these situations, it's important to put your own mental health and self-respect first. Even if the cheating partner tries to lessen how bad their actions were by saying it was just a one-time thing, it is important to realize how bad the situation really is. It's not easy to rebuild trust after it's been broken, and repeated promises may not ring true after a betrayal. Infidelity also affects more than one person. Beyond just being physically involved with someone, it shows a deep lack of respect for the emotional purity of the relationship. It casts doubt and fear on the love and friendship that have been built up over time. Deciding to end a relationship where cheating has occurred is not a sign of weakness, but rather a boost of self-esteem and pride. It is a brave move toward honesty, integrity, and the search for real connections based on mutual trust and respect, even if it is hard to say goodbye. Staying in a relationship where someone has betrayed you only makes the emotional turmoil last longer and keeps both people from finding true satisfaction and happiness. Number 8. People who are close to you may hear comments like, "You're being too sensitive." These comments can hurt them deeply. It's not just about being sensitive, it's about respect and having understanding in a relationship. It's disappointing when your partner enjoys making fun of your mistakes or treating your deepest losses as unimportant. When you finally get the courage to talk about these hurtful actions, you don't get understanding or an apology. Someone makes fun of your sensitivity and ignores you. The argument that people should be able to handle criticism or teasing with mental toughness is often put forward. However, there is a thin line between harmless jokes and hurtful behavior, especially when it's your partner who should be there for you and understand your Stoic side. Epictetus once said that what counts is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it. It's a red flag when your partner not only doesn't recognize your valid feelings but also uses them against you. This is also true in relationships. Insults that are meant to be funny or comparisons to other people's wins will only make you feel bad about your own worth. It's important to know when these kinds of exchanges turn unhealthy and hurtful to your health. Surrounding yourself with people who support and help you grow is important for your own growth and happiness. You can expect your partner to respect, care about, and be kind to you. And it's important to set limits when those needs aren't met. Relationships should be a source of support and happiness, not a constant fight to show how strong you are against mean comments. Number 9. Obey me. In many relationships, women are in charge of their male partner's schedules. They might ask about plans or spending time with friends, which is fine and shows a healthy relationship where partners support each other's social lives. But if this care turns into controlling behavior, it's a problem. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said that freedom is the only worthwhile goal in life, because it lets us ignore things we can't change. This quote stresses how important it is to keep your personal freedom and not give in to unwanted impact in relationships. If your partner starts to demand obedience or asks you to give up your hobbies and time with friends, that's a red flag. It's fine for her to have preferences about your friends, but limiting your time with them is worrying. If she gives you ultimatums saying you have to choose between her and your friends, it's time to think about ending the relationship. Remember that your happiness and freedom are paramount, and giving them up for someone else's control is not healthy. Excellent communication is key in dealing with these kinds of problems in relationships. Talking about needs, limits, and standards in an open and honest way can help people understand and respect each other in healthy relationships. Find a mix between their own interests and activities they do with others. It's important to spot warning signs like ultimatums that force a choice between a partner and social circles, so that both partners can keep in touch with friends and follow personal interests without feeling stifled or controlled. Epictetus's wise words tell us that giving up our own happiness and freedom for the sake of keeping things the same in a relationship is not a good idea. True happiness in relationships comes from mutual support, respect for individual autonomy, and the freedom to pursue personal interests and connections outside of the relationship. Ultimately, if a relationship becomes suffocating or stops personal growth and fulfillment, it may be time to reevaluate priorities and make decisions that put overall well-being first. Epictetus's teachings still speak to people today, urging them to see and seek what they want. Personal freedom and meaningful connections in relationships. Number 10. You are cheating. Claims of cheating can really mess up a relationship, causing a lot of mistrust and bad feelings if they're not handled carefully. In a good relationship, it's very important to be understanding and kind, while also standing up for yourself and what you know is right. Trust is the rock on which everything else is built. It makes both people feel safe and important. It's important to try to figure out why someone is accusing you of cheating when they have no proof. Sometimes past hurts, insecurities, or just not talking openly can make someone feel really jealous and suspicious. It's important to talk about these feelings honestly and without blaming each other, so you can understand where the other person is coming from and work through it together. As the saying goes, trust yourself and others will trust you too. That means staying true to your values and beliefs even when things get tough, but it's also important to set limits and deal with any behaviors like invading your privacy or accusing you over and over again without a good reason. If you see early signs of mistrust, like your partner going through your stuff or always asking where you've been, it's important to talk about it in a quiet and polite way. Good communication, respecting each other, and working through problems together can help rebuild trust and make your relationship stronger. But if the accusations keep coming even after you've tried to talk things out, it might be time to get outside help or think about ending the relationship. In the end, false accusations of cheating can hurt the relationship and both people in it by destroying trust. Couples can get through hard times and come out stronger if they talk to each other and treat each other with respect. As the saying goes, trusting yourself is key to earning trust from others, which shows how important it is to stay true to yourself even when things are hard. To wrap up today's discussion, let's go over the most important and useful lessons for building a healthy relationship. A happy and fulfilling relationship with a woman depends on a few important, non-negotiable factors. It's important to look into these factors to make sure both partners understand each other and build a strong base. As with everyone else, women are deeply affected by their feelings, which often determine how they act and what they choose to do. However, this emotional depth should not overshadow the need for logic and consistency in relationships. Keeping a sense of mutual respect is the most important thing. Important. This means treating each other with respect, kindness, and care, even when you disagree or face a problem. Respect is the basis on which trust, appreciation, and a real bond are built in a relationship. Furthermore, good conversation is a key part of building understanding and resolving disagreements. Partners can clearly say what they think, feel, and need when they talk to each other in an open and honest way. This creates a safe place for vulnerability and intimacy. Active listening, empathy, and a willingness to understand each other's points of view without judging or being defensive are important parts of a healthy relationship. Communication, respect, and shared values and goals are also very important. While differences can be beneficial, agreeing on basic values like honesty, integrity, and commitment strengthens the bond between partners. It gives them a sense of unity and purpose, encouraging them to work together and support each other through life's challenges and celebrate their successes together. Trust is also an important part of a healthy relationship. Being consistent, dependable, and open in your actions and words is what builds trust. It means keeping your promises, being dependable, and respecting limits. Trust is what makes people feel safe and secure, and it lets them be honest and open without worrying about being betrayed or judged. It's also important to support each other's personal goals and encourage personal growth and self-care within the partnership. Hobbies and ways to take care of yourself helps people live balanced and happy lives, both as individuals and as a couple. Encourages self-expression, self-exploration, and self-improvement. Strengthens the bond by recognizing and celebrating each other's unique traits. And, on the other hand, ignoring warning signs or putting up with bad behavior can hurt the relationship's health and happiness. It's important to deal with problems like manipulation, disrespect, or lack of empathy right away and get professional help if you need it. Healthy limits. Respecting yourself and caring about your emotional health are important for making a relationship last. To sum up, if you want to have a happy and healthy relationship with a woman, you need to take a multifaceted approach that puts respect, communication, shared values, trust, personal growth, and emotional health at the top of the list. Partners can build a strong and lasting connection based on love, support, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. This process of building and maintaining a healthy relationship is ongoing and requires constant effort, understanding, and adaptability as partners navigate life's challenges together, growing stronger and closer with each shared experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey of understanding women's minds and behaviors. That you are here today to talk about something interesting and important for improving our relationships is something I appreciate, and I hope that the information and ideas we talked about today have made you think and given you useful insights that can make your relationships with the women in your life better if you related to and found value in them. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the section below this video's comments. Your feedback not only helps build a sense of community, but it also helps us make future content that speaks to your specific interests and concerns. Also, don't forget to check out the videos that come after this one. Linked these resources in the end screen go into more detail and nuanced talks on related topics, giving you a full picture of the many aspects of relationships and how people interact with each other. Thanks for taking the time to read this and give it your full attention. I can't wait for our next trip together to be full of interesting conversations and growth for both of us. Until we meet again. When you're in a relationship, keep an open mind and treat the other person with empathy and understanding. This will help you make deep bonds and keep exploring.